if you've been around my channel for a while, you would know I used to do videos for reviews within the hour of me watching the movie, and then just upload it immediately, and that's how I was just pumping out like 30 reviews a month, 30 plus reviews a month, or whatever I was doing back in the day. And I haven't really done that much because I don't find much enjoyment in it. But after finishing the AI doc, or actually, to be honest, probably within the first hour of the movie, I said to myself, I'm going to sit down and just record my thoughts immediately because there was a certain line in this movie that really did piss me off, and I want to say it's towards the last 30 minutes of this film. This is a 1 hour, 45-minute movie, I believe, or a documentary, I'm sorry. And there's a line that says, it was one of those big AI guys, and he says something along the lines of, if you really want to prevent AI from taking over the world and destroying it and destroying humanity, why not just work for one of our companies? And I was just like, is this fucking for real? Is this serious? And I'll get more into that later, but I just could not believe that, and it really just fucking pissed me off. And while I don't really necessarily hate the totality of AI, and everything has the benefit, the beneficial factors of it, in medicine, development, just a lot of good stuff for humanity in the future. There is a lot of stuff that just can take away from humans and humanity and emotions and everything, and art and in work, or any environment that AI can potentially take over. There is a room for it to destroy the humanity part of anything. And there's also another line that pissed me off in this movie that also was, a little bit uh, tied to me being pissed off about this documentary and me finishing it, and why I didn't even enjoy it so much is there's a little call he does. The director, Daniel Roher, does with his father towards the end of his movie, and it's something he says before actually filming the doc and everything. And he's talking to his dad about what the AI doc is supposed to be, and he's saying it's not only just a doc about telling people about AI, but it's also a doc telling people that this is the end of the world as we know it, and this will be the death of planet Earth. This movie doesn't cover any of that. I mean, to be honest, you have a really, really tiny speck of it in this entire documentary. But other than that, this is a very central view of AI. And while I don't usually mind that because a lot of modern documentaries are very centralist, and while I don't think it's a bad thing, you claiming that this documentary was going to be such a thing to go against it, and showing us that this is the end of the world and everything, but instead you're just hiring a bunch of billionaires to talk to the audience and tell them we do all these good things, we do all these great things, and yeah, we do have the opportunity to train AI to save the earth and everything, but we won't mention how it's destroying, water. It's taking over, every part of the suburbs around my area, and we're just building giant fucking buildings for AI and AI companies. No, we don't talk about that at all in this fucking documentary, and it's kind of a joke. And we even have a line in this movie where Mr. Daniel Roher is interviewing someone, and the guy says something along the lines of, "This might be an unsatisfying answer, but AI can help, and it can also be really bad." That's what this documentary feels like. It doesn't feel like what this guy told his father in the interview towards the end of this movie. This should be something. Be different. Do something unique. We know all this stuff about AI already. This film feels like it came out 3 years too late. And I know this is a documentary in the works for many, many years. It came out way too late. This should have came out in 2023, 2022-ish maybe. This came out way too late. We know all of this stuff. This whole documentary, to be honest, feels very lazy, and it feels like a giant YouTube essay video instead. It feels like instead of actually getting meaningful interviews out of all these people who are working in these giant AI companies, or the people who are fighting against AI, and the owners and billionaires of these AI companies being interviewed, none of it feels like stuff we don't know already. These feel like things I could type into a Google search bar and just find out without needing this documentary. This documentary needed to be something more important, and instead, like the title implies, it just trying to make you an optimist for the apocalypse, and it's kind of fucking gross, and I'm sick of it. And while I still am super excited for Daniel O'Hare's I believe it's called Tuner, which is coming out late May, I believe. I'm still very excited for that film. This just felt so fucking lazy, disingenuous, and you have all these weird cutesy moments, and I really hate that documentaries do this. And it's become really, really bad in modern times, modern documentaries. Why are we doing these one-on-one connections with the director? We don't care. I'm sorry. I'm happy you have a child. I'm happy your wife's happy. Your father is crying tears because he's so happy that you're going to be a dad and you're telling him, I'm going to be a great dad because you're a great dad. We don't need any of this. It doesn't add to the AI doc at all. It just feels like little moments you're adding in to make yourself feel better and show the world that you're a dad now. That has nothing to do with this. You have this segment towards the beginning of the documentary where he's talking about how this will affect my kids, and this is scary because the super intelligent AI will take over the world, and will there even be a world for my kids to live in? Is there a point to bringing a child into this world? And then you bring in a child anyway. It feels like none of these conversations you had any meaningful like click to your head. I don't know. It just felt like none of this felt genuine. It just feels like he's like, I have a budget. I can interview all these rich people. I can interview all these people who've done million of interviews the exact same way a million times on the internet. And you can find on YouTube just by typing their name, or go on Google, type their name. You'll have the same exact answers on there, and that's it. And we pop the camera in front of them. The art is okay. Like I said, the interview and its questions are absolutely lazy and don't go anywhere and don't add anything to this AI apocalypse that he's trying to, you think he's trying to scare people with, but it doesn't even do anything. I think the scariest movie in this entire 100-minute documentary is the weird, like, 4-ish minute segment where they're talking about super intelligent AI and how humans will never even be able to comprehend how smart AI will end up getting one day, and how it wouldn't make sense if they didn't rule the world. I think that was the scariest part of this whole documentary, and it felt like the most apocalyptic. It felt like the scariest moment of the entire documentary. I remember sitting back in my seat and going, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fucking horrifying. And they don't go into it at all. It just goes away. That segment's done. It's disgusting. It's pathetic. This is a very pathetic attempt at trying to make a documentary that is supposed to be way bigger than what it actually is. This is very disappointing. I'm really saddened. Like I said, maybe if this came out 3-4 years earlier, this would be a pretty alright documentary. It'd probably be like a 6 out of 10 for me, and as you see here, I don't have a rating, which I usually do at the bottom. I'm not sure what I'm going to give it, maybe a 2 out of 10, but I thought this was just very, very, very pathetic. This was a very, very pathetic attempt at making AI seem scary, and I understand he says stuff about a few things about how AI is helpful and all this, but this was just horrible. This was really, really horrible. And that whole switch up he does where he's showing the birth of his kid, which I just think is so strange to me, and it feels like so nonsensical to any of this doc. And then his wife has to come in, and I'm not sure how much of this is scripted or if his wife actually had these feelings and thought he was a fucking idiot for adding that part and ending it there. It was so strange. Why does she have? Maybe she should have done this documentary. Maybe she should have done the interviews. Maybe she should have done everything. I honestly think her as a pregnant woman would have been much, much more intriguing than just a random dude who feels like he has actually no care in any of this. I'm not sure. This was just very pathetic, and I really wanted to do a review on Forbidden Fruits, which I still might end up doing tomorrow morning. But this really just pissed me off. This was really pathetic, and I envy the guy who fell asleep in front of me about 40 minutes in, because this feels like nothing new was absolutely learned, and I'm just pissed. This should have been a streaming only thing, and have these, like, Neanderthals who know nothing about AI can learn about it through Netflix or whatever, because this is seriously a joke.